Sophie Stadium, Las Vegas, that was the place, and here I am in my CRUZ AZUL get up, Mexican team. That's one of my favorite Mexican teams, so got the old CRUZ AZUL get up on for ya, El Mexicano, just to go a little bit Mexican nuts. But anyway, great final, and an amazing crowd. We're going to get to all of that first of all, but thank you, everybody, for getting in on this channel as you did during the Gold Cup. You really, really have literally brought a lot of great questions down below. And if you'd like to, as we move through, like, subscribe, and like the video. Come on, let's get going. We want to be number one. 5,000 is the mark. We've got to keep moving, guys. And this family will not stop. Like I said recently to someone in business, I don't take no for an answer. I make the impossible happen. I've made a few things happen in my life. So have you. Of course you have. But let's get down to Ground Zero, the 2023 Gold Cup final. I'm going to tell you what we're going to be talking about right now. But again, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribing. And thank you for being there, because it means a hell of a lot to know that you're on the other side of this camera, watching, listening, and enjoying. And remember, down below, drop your comments anytime, poets. You know it's the way to go. So looking at what we're going to bring today, we're going to be looking at the game, obviously. Then I'm going to give you my out of 10 for all the players. Then we're going to go to the awards. Who's won what? Then we're going to talk a little bit about Said Martinez. Who's Said Martinez? That was the referee from the Gold Cup final. I'm not going to be anything but honest, so stick around. And I'm going to ask you one question. What was your biggest memory in the Gold Cup, the 2023 Gold Cup? What was your greatest memory? And if you have an even bigger memory, because this one didn't do it for you, what's your memory from a Gold Cup going back over time? Because let's face it, everybody's got theirs. And I'm going to share with you my Gold Cup 2023 Gold Cup moments from the whole competition that got me out of my chair, screaming like you've probably never ever going to see me, jumping up like you're never ever going to see me do. But I'm sure you can imagine that I go nuts when something goes great for me. But I got to tell you, stick around. I'm going to show you the moment that got me out of my chair, jumping up and screaming, and a few words came out that I will never repeat on this channel, but let me tell you, it was an absolute barn-burning moment for me. But listen, what was your memory? Down below. Come on, now's the time. Final's done. We know what's going on. But what was your greatest Gold Cup memory? Or even for that fact, what was your favorite memory in this Gold Cup? Now, another thing we're going to talk about is the stats, and then we're going to talk about the awards coming through. So keep it here and let's get straight into it. Let's waste no time. Let's talk about the final right now. It's a rather swanky shirt, isn't it, eh? Do you like that? I'll step back, show you more. CRUZ AZUL from Mexico. Lovely shirt. I like the side profile as well as the front, but there you go, CRUZ AZUL. Getting back into it. Your memory, Gold Cup 2023 or any Gold Cup. Which one was it? Tell me about it. We'd love to know. Share it so everybody else in the family can see what you do, what you know, and what your country is. And let's face it, there's a load of countries in our confederation in CONCACAF. I want to meet and greet all of you, so get it here and get your mates on this channel. This is not just for one nation. This is for all of us. And all my friends over there in the UK and all around the world too. It's your channel too, so get on it too. I hope you enjoyed the Gold Cup with us, because next up, we're going to be talking about different cups and different leagues moving through. You know what I'm talking about. We're talking about the Wrexham. We're talking about the England League. We're talking about Major League Soccer. We're talking about Canadian Premier League. And if you want us to touch something, let us know. Now, talking about the first half, how could you ignore the atmosphere at Sophie Stadium? 70,000 plus crazies going absolutely nuts. Loads of colour, loads of noise. It was absolutely brilliant. So the ground, the atmosphere was fantastic. Did any of you look at the field? Really close. I mean, I got these specs on, but did any of you look at the field? I don't think it hampered the game, but that's a field for a running game. That's a field for catching the ball in the air, yeah, like football. But I don't necessarily think that was the best ever surface for a soccer match or a game of football. Do you? Let me know. Let me know down below. Do you think the surface was okay? Or did you think with real grass and a real good surface, we could have had an even better game? Because the finishing in this game, the final pass, the final shot, it just seemed to be getting fluffed. And I think it's all about timing. And natural grass, you know your timing. This field, I don't know so much. I'm not going to blame the field. It was fair for both teams, and both teams didn't have an issue. But it's for the fine timing on a shot, or the fine timing and the weight of a pass. You got to say, that necessarily wasn't the best field. Anyway, both teams had moments to score. It was a fantastic final. It really had you on the edge of your seat, and it was Panama or Mexico all the way in this one. There were a couple of moments in the first half that really were the defining moments of the game, because had it not for being these moments, I think we have a different final. But the first one is 33 minutes in. Henry Martin has the ball in the back of the net. Mexico's going nuts. Not just in Mexico, but also Sophia Stadium. And you're thinking, 1-0, 1-0, Mexico. But it's not 1-0. And that, if you love them or you hate them, it doesn't matter. But VAR is in the game and in to stay. And rightfully so. And VAR comes up with a good call. And it's offside. But here's the deal. It wasn't on the finish. It was in the build-up play. So my question to you and my question to FIFA is, if the offside was before that build-up play, why did the linesman not put up the flag? He should have raised the flag and killed the play. Then we would have never ever would we have had that goal go in on 33, to be disallowed. There's something to think about. Should the linesman have raised his flag? I say he should have. And I say, because of that linesman, this evolved into a situation that should never have happened, which brings me to the point, if it's offside, raise the damn flag now. Stop pissing around. Get that flag in the frickin' air and stop risking people getting hurt or wasting time on the clock. Nobody ever clocks it back for all those blown calls by linesmen, etc. I'm not coming down on the officials. I'm just saying it's not correct the way they handle this. Raise the flag as soon as it's offside, like we always used to do. And let's get back to simplicity, because the offside rule is very simple. It's human beings that make it so difficult. Anywho, goal gets disallowed, and you're thinking, well, for Panama, it's fantastic because it keeps them in the game. And for the crowd neutral, it keeps them in the game too. So it's fantastic all around, apart from if you're one of my amigas or one of my amigos from Mexico. So we were not so happy in Mexico. I get that. But the game goes on. And then on 42 minutes, Mexico's like looking to rip the nets off. I mean, a double world-class save, save from Mosquera in Panama's goal. Firstly, he gets bashed by Martin, and then he gets Pineda hitting him on as well. It's a case of 2 shots in 2 times, Pineda first, and bang, bang, Mosquera is equal to it, keeps it out, keeps Panama in the game, and at half-time, it's unbelievably 0-0, but it's been an absolute thriller of a final. The guys on the field are given everything. The referees are doing a fair job, and it's been real difficult, because maybe Mr. Said Martinez, the referee, just needed to come in with a bit more of a relaxed nature. Why was he so high-strung on this game? Do you know why? I'll tell you why. Because Infantino, the FIFA boss, is sitting in the crowd next to CONCACAF's boss too. That's why he might have been a little bit animated, worked up, pissed off, don't contest my decisions attitude. But at half-time, it was 0-0. So second half gets underway. Mexico really are controlling the game. Panama literally defending with their lives and doing a fantastic defensive job too. Team defense from Panama throughout the whole Gold Cup has been absolutely flawless. But about 60 minutes in now, you can see that the writing is on the wall that maybe Mexico's going to make one chance, really just one chance, make it happen. And it will be all that we said and done. But the star of the show midway through the second half was one Said Martinez, and he was literally starting and stopping a great game. He had to step in. I mean, I'll just step aside for Mr. Cards here, but Mr. Said had to step in and do what he does best, and that's, run the game, keep it all fair, and, be an adjudicator or a traffic controller, or literally set of traffic lights, keep things moving. A referee is supposed to be the conductor of traffic, and that was what he was trying to do. Didn't always work out, but you got to say, he was a little bit high-strung. Let's check out something else. This is another picture from in the game. You can see that Martin is in behind him. That was on the goal that was disallowed, and the referee was correct. There's something I want to point out to you about Mr. Said Martinez from Honduras. Have a look at this picture. I'll be right back. Right back, right now. He's got a yellow pen. He's got a yellow pen. He's got a yellow pen. Saeed, he's got a yellow pen. He's got a yellow pen. He's got a yellow pen. What kind of referee needs a yellow pen to dish out the cards? Because here's the deal. He must be so high-strung to have a yellow pen. Let's face it, there's a point in the game where my big buddy, Harold Cummings from Panama, literally, he had a yellow card in the bag, yeah? And then a foul came across the middle, and straight away, Mr. Martinez is like, boom! Have some of that, Mr. Cummings, you are out of here. Seconds later, VAR's like, Saeed, 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 Saeed. He didn't touch him. He didn't touch him. It was Godoy, Godoy. The rest of the world, meanwhile, is looking at Harold Cummings sitting on a red card leaving the game, weren't we? Then all of a sudden, an embarrassed-looking Mr. Martinez is not showing a yellow card to Cummings because that's been transmitted to him verbally, and it hasn't been made really apparent that that's happened. But then Mr. Martinez goes over to Godoy and goes, bang, that should have been for you. Boom. Now, here's my point. Guy's got a yellow card, and it's the right thing to do. He should have had that right from the start, no? And Mr. Yellow Pen, I mean, chill out, buddy. It's all about the game and not about you. And I mean, if you're coming into this with a yellow pen, what has that got to tell the people? Like, really, what is that got to tell the people? But the game carries on, irrelevant of Mr. Yellow Red Card, boom. And literally on the death's door, 88 minutes in, Panama fatally get wounded by Mexico, and the ball comes in, and I gotta say, substituted in Santiago Jimenez on 85 minutes, and it's Santiago Jimenez coming in for Henry Matan, and 3 minutes later, he's a national hero. He's got the goal-winning game and man of the match too. He did something that no one else could do, and that was get the ball in the back of the net without it being offside and without it being improper and without Mr. Said Martinez going, wait a minute, we've got to check with VAR. And it was checked by VAR, absolutely. And that's the odd thing about the game right now. Every goal gets checked. They are so scared of getting it wrong. They check everything. But what a cruel, cruel way to kill off Panama. 2 minutes to go, plus added time. And it does dwindle down to Mexico winning 1-0 on the night. I tell you what, it was an absolute barn-burning final. And I'm going to give you the players out of 10 right now before we move on. But I'll tell you now, that was a totally fantastic final. For the neutral, it would have been even better. For Mexico fans, it's fantastic. And for Panama fans, yes, you lost, but don't be down. Your nation should be proud of what this team did because they really brought an A game and they brought themselves up. And like I said a few weeks ago, I expect Panama to be in the next World Cup in Mexico, USA, and Canada in 2026. I expect Panama to be there because they're good enough. And when you think that Canada doesn't have to qualify, that opens up the door for Panama as well. So I expect Panama to be in the next World Cup. So don't be down, Panama fans. Your team did you absolutely proud. And Mexico, well, I'll tell you what, Campeones de la Copa Oro is absolutely fantastic. Champions of the Gold Cup, fantastic. Now your top picks of the out of 10 ratings for the teams. We'll start with Panama first. Mosquera gets an 8. He's absolutely top player for me. That double save was absolutely top draw, world class. And I got to say, he's made himself an absolute great thing to buy. I guarantee you, people are watching him. Going through it now. Andrade, 6. Cummings, Harold, 7. Escobar, 6. Davis, 6. Godoy, 7. Carrasquilla gets a 7 as well. Barcenas gets 6. He did absolutely well with what he had to do, but wasn't in as much as he could. I wanted to see more from Barcenas, but what he did do wasn't bad, especially when he shot just past the post. Diaz gets a 6. Quintero gets 7. Ferrado gets 6. And Jimenez, well, hey, we'll get to that pretty soon. Ochoa now. Ochoa in Mexico gets a 7. Gallardo gets 6. Vasquez, Montes, Jorge Sanchez all get 6. Alvarez gets a 7. Romo gets a 6. Luis Chavez gets a 7. Antuna and Pineda gets 7. And Martin gets 6. And he was replaced by Jimenez And although he gets in for 3 minutes before he gets the goal, he gets a 10 out of 10 because you know what? He's a national hero. He got the goal. He did something that no one else could do. And over 30-odd shots between both teams. We'll get to the stats pretty soon, but over 30-odd shots from both teams. And Santiago Jimenez gets it done within 3 minutes work. Brilliant for him. Fantastic for Mexico. He's a national hero. And 2023 Gold Cup winners are Mexico. And that's title number 9. Nueve. So Mexico is your 2023 champion. Now, looking at the stats, we're going to take a look at the stats before we move along because it really does tell a game. And stats coming up right now. 1-0 on the day, you know, that's Jimenez, Santiago Jimenez on 88. Such a cruel way to win the game. Such a nice way to win it. But on the shots, we'll go Mexico top to bottom. Shots 23, on target 7, possession 52%, 366 passes, 79% accuracy. That's not that great, but it shows that this was a battle of attrition in midfield where things got coughed up. So 79% isn't so bad. You'll see why in a minute. Fouls, 24. Mexico. Yellow cards, 4. Red cards, no. Offsides, just the 1, and corners 2. Now, looking at Panama, 14 shots, 2 on target. That is respectable, mate. That is absolutely respectable. Possession, 48%. Passes, 366. Pretty close to what Mexico had. And pass accuracy, 77. Mexico, 79. Panama, 77. It was a battle. No time on the ball. You were getting hacked from behind all the way. Them numbers are pretty good considering this was a battle, yeah? Fouls, 17. Yellow cards, 4 yellow cards, which means there was 8 yellow cards. 8 yellow cards in the whole game. It wasn't a dirty game, Mr. Martinez. Really, wasn't a dirty game. Try using your gums and get friendly with the players and make it happier because you look like a miserable son of a gun during the game. Did a good job sometimes, but wasn't really the happy guy. And I'm not saying referees need to be goo-goo gaga happy, but bring a better air into the game, man. I mean, like, that's what it's all about. Offsides 3, corners just the 1. So there you go. Now, looking at the awards coming up, going through, you'll check this as it hits you. Golden Ball, Ferreira, USA. Why does he get it from us? Ultimate Soccer Show? Because he scored 7 goals no one else did. And when you think of big feats in the tournament, well, he's the man that steals the fire. Golden Boot, Jesus Ferreira again. So he picks up 2 trophies from us. Golden Glove goes to Guillermo Ochoa from Mexico, and Mosquero was right behind, but Ochoa gets it because he wins the final. Fair Play Trophy goes to Canada. And young player, Schaffelberg, it goes to Jacob Schaffelberg. Take a look. This is my moment from the 2023 Gold Cup. Schaffelberg blasting past Turner, making it 2-1 for Canada at the 2023 Gold Cup. That's my moment. And Jacob Schaffelberg, well done for that. But you got to say, we all have moments. This is mine. What was your moment from the Gold Cup? Your moment that you won't forget from 2023, the Gold Cup. What was your moment? This is mine. Jacob Schaffelberg scoring that goal. And remember, what was your moment of the Gold Cup? Whether it be this 2023 Gold Cup or a Gold Cup in the past, but what was your memory, your best memory of a Gold Cup? And I'd like to know if you got one from this World Cup too. My one? Jacob Schaffelberg. That was my moment. I was jumping up like a 2-year-old going absolutely bazonkers. I was literally screaming and saying things I shouldn't be saying. And it's a good job I was in the studio all alone. But I was jumping up like a nut job, going screaming. People could hear me, and that was up in the next level. And I'm screaming. And I'm as happy as you would be for your nation getting the goal. Again, what was your moment during the 2023 World Cup? Or you could also play a little bit of schadenfreude when something happened to another team. Who are you happy to see it go against? So there's things to you think about. It was a great final. I had a fantastic time. I hope you enjoyed our coverage all the way through. And remember, like, subscribe, and like. Hit the notification button. Keep it here because in a second or two, you're going to see another side of me in Mexico. And I'm going to be right back. Hold it there. So as we shut this down, Tulum is a real good place in my heart. And I've got to say, This cowboy is getting ready for the next thing that's coming through, but I hope you did have a fantastic time on this channel during the Gold Cup. And I tell you, we had fun doing it, meeting you. So come on back for more. More things are coming. Let us know what you want us to touch. But at the end of the day, the 2023 Gold Cup, it goes to Mexico, and it was a great tournament. For my money, I think it was the best ever Gold Cup ever that I've ever seen. You're going to have to go a long way to top that one. And we had a lot of drama, a lot of thrills, and a lot of upsets too. And you got to remember, back in the day, the early part of the qualifyings and getting through, and then the group stages getting through, and people like Guadalupe that started so fast and faded away, and you thought, whoops. But we've guided you well. I hope you've enjoyed it, and let us know how you enjoyed the Gold Cup with Ultimate Soccer. Remember, guys, there's more coming, but for this one, Mexico is the team. We had a blast doing this. We hope you had a blast watching. And by the way, thanks for being there. Like, subscribe, and like, and hit that notification button. Cheers.